The Great British Sausage Panic of 1863 it began, as all great British crises do, with tea, gossip, and sausages. In the autumn of 1863, rumors started circulating through the market squares and back alleys of Britain. The sausages weren't safe. Someone whispered that a butcher in Portsmouth had been caught stuffing sawdust into his links. Another claimed that pork in London was half wood and wholly scandalous. Within days, every breakfast table from Brighton to Birmingham was buzzing. Housewives held sausages up to the light, squinting suspiciously. Gentlemen muttered darkly into their newspapers. Even the dogs sniffed twice before eating leftovers. Sausages, once the pride of the British plate, had become the enemy. It wasn't that Britons were new to food fears, far from it. The Victorians were already living in an age of culinary deception. There was chalk in the flour, alum in the bread, copper in the pickles, and brick dust in the cocoa. And now it seemed oak in the sausages. The panic soon boiled over. In one bustling market town, a group of furious housewives marched on a butcher's shop, demanding to see proof of meat. The butcher protested his innocence, but the mob was unconvinced. One woman brandished her parasol like a bayonet. Another began hurling sausages from the display. The rest joined in. Before long, the air was thick with flying meat. Constables arrived, but found themselves dodging bangers like cannonballs. "Keep the peace," they shouted while ducking behind barrels of lard. It was less a protest and more a breakfast-based battlefield. The newspapers naturally had a field day. Headlines blared, "Wood in the worst," "The Great Sausage Outrage," "Britons demand real meat." Editors scribbled furiously, cartoonists drew pigs made of timber, and readers devoured every scandalous word. But behind the mockery lay genuine fear. If one couldn't trust a sausage, what could one trust? In London, local councils began inspecting butchers. "Show us the contents of your links," they ordered. Some shopkeepers proudly displayed their ingredient lists: pork, breadcrumbs, hope. Others quietly closed early. Even Parliament took notice. Not of the sausage-throwing, Parliament didn't move that quickly, but of the larger question: what on earth was in Britain's food? The panic became part of a bigger push for reform. 3 years earlier, the Adulteration of Food and Drink Act of 1860 had already been passed, making it illegal to sell food mixed with poisonous or injurious materials. But enforcement was patchy, and the public still didn't trust what was on their plates. The sausage scandal only turned up the heat. By 1875, a stronger act was passed, giving inspectors real power to test foods and punish cheats. It was the dawn of food safety in Britain, born not from polite debate but from meat-flinging outrage. The British banger was saved, cleaner, safer, and significantly less wooden, and yet for all its silliness, the Great British Sausage Panic taught a serious lesson. Food isn't just about flavor, it's about trust. When that trust breaks, even the calmest nation on earth will riot with cutlery in hand. To this day, historians look back on 19th-century food adulteration as the messy origin of modern consumer protection. Without those suspicious housewives and their airborne sausages, Britain might still be chewing on mystery meat. So next time you sit down to a full English breakfast, raise a fork to the forgotten heroines of 1863, the women who bravely shouted, "We want real meat," and accidentally launched a revolution in food safety. And remember, in Victorian Britain, you were never entirely sure what was in your sausage, but you could always count on a good scam.